Welcome to the Back Nine Six Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 108 of the Back Nine Six Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin. I got a happy dad here. I'm going to crack Happy Father's Day week.
Dude, the best thing I think that I'm going to crack one open here too. Best thing I think the U.S. Open's ever done is just made sure that it's on, the Sunday final round is on Father's Day. It's really, 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 really hard for your wife to look you in the face and tell you can't watch the final round of the U.S. Open on Father's Day. Like, we've already got a plan. We're gonna go. We're golfing. Obviously, we're golfing on Father's Day. Got a nice little group going with some father-son combos. But we found this place called Urban Backyard yesterday, driving through Hamilton. So shout out Hamilton. We're going to go watch the final round of the U.S. Open over there. It's got a nice patio. Looks like a pretty cool place. Never heard of it until yesterday when we were driving by. Like, what the hell is this place? So that's where I'll be watching the final round of U.S. Open after our round of golf on Sunday.
Nice. So just hanging out with your dad and brother?
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to come over there or not, but the kids and Danielle and we'll do it up, but I felt like it was like that's a perfect place to watch the final round of the U.S. Open. So
I mean, I appreciate the for me, I like to go home. I like to get on the grill while I'm watching, do all that stuff, but I'm kind of leaning towards having some service. Like taking off some of the responsibilities might be the actual route to go eventually.
I used to do what you were saying, and I just like this year just felt like something different was in the works. You know what I mean? Just kind of like, let's do something that we haven't done before. Hopefully the weather holds off. I think it is, Justin Cantori.
I had to text you today just to send out the bat signal for Justin Cantori.
Hey, I've just been so preoccupied with so many different things in the last couple of weeks. I have usually you asked me, like, I know what the weather is going to be like through Friday. Just been preoccupied with some other things, like, haven't been there, but you got me back in my game. I think I'm back in the flow of things here. But I'm predicting maybe a stray pop-up, but I think Father's Day should be pretty nice around our parts.
All right, that's we're going to stick to it. I trust full faith and full trust in you, sir. So no other way it's going to go. Thank you all for listening. Please subscribe, like, rate the show, review the show, all the things that we ask you to do every week. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. And send us some fan mail. We're going to get back to the fan mail this week. It's been in the queue for 2 weeks now, so it's a good time to hit this specific question. I'll fill you all in later on that. But yeah, big episode last week for anybody that may have missed it. We did a full 2-hour breakdown of Justin's trip to Scotland. It was a blast. Just even listening back to it, I was just so pumped about it, and just allowing myself to dream a little bit about, my eventual trip to Scotland as well. So if you've not listened or watched that, please do. It's up on YouTube and podcasts, wherever you get those.
Yeah, I had some good feedback. I had a couple people reach out and was like, listen to the show, how do I plan something like this? And I'll use the line that the guy that scheduled shout out to $10 Timmy, who scheduled our trip. He goes, can you make a couple phone calls? Yeah, I can do that. Can you send a couple emails? Yeah, I can do that too. Do that. It saves you, a ton of money. But I know enough about the behind the scenes stuff now that, I was telling people I can kind of give you the blueprint. You know what I mean? To book a relatively inexpensive international trip to go play golf. But yeah, I had some really good feedback. It was kind of cool to hear people like, man, I just assumed it was out of my price range, right? I heard that a couple of times. And it's and then I kind of told, because we didn't really talk about how much I spent on there, but in private, telling them how much I spent, they're like, holy crap, I can do that. I can definitely, that seems affordable, right? I think people are just, specifically in the United States, they're so jaded by how much these golf trips cost. And when they hear what we did our trip for, like, dude, that's half the price of taking a trip out the Bandon Dunes. You know what I mean? So it was pretty cool. I thought there was really good feedback, and I heard a couple of chicken curry comments out at our par 3 competition on Saturday. So that was always fun. I'm glad that stuck with people, that story from British Airways. So
so good. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate everybody with their feedback on that. It was a lot of fun to do. So check that one out if you've not. From one big week to another, obviously we mentioned the U.S. Open week. We're the 125th at Oakmont.
Hell yeah.
Like the bluest blood of the blue blood courses for the U.S. Open. So in true back nine six-pack fashion, we're going to talk about concessions to start with.
Yes. I saw this. We didn't. I don't think we did it for the Masters a couple years ago, maybe, but we didn't do it, any other time. So I think this is a great way to just figure out if we were going to go, like what we're going to do for the day.
Yeah. So I saw this. I forget who posted it on X, but shout out to whoever that was. It was just a screen or a picture of the concession sign outside of one of the stands there, and I was trying to set us with a price of what, if I gave you this much money, what would you spend it on based on these prices? It's kind of hard to do because they're not cheap.
No.
You look at that Masters board and you're like, you know what? I could probably eat and drink for a day on like $25-$30 or whatever.
Oh, for sure. Without a doubt.
With this menu, you have to really make some decisions.
Like you're cutting out at least one. Like if you're going to be there all day, right? Like you're cutting out at least a meal, maybe even two, depending on how much alcohol you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, I budgeted us at $50 here. See how you'd break up a $50 spend. But it's not going to get you as far as you want to, I don't think. So yeah, looking at this menu, what would be your strategy with $50 to spend?
I'll tell you, I'm not a big breakfast person. I know that's kind of where the value is as far as a sandwich goes, but not a big breakfast person. So kind of how I was thinking, this is how my day would go, right? I'd roll in, I'd get a nice coffee. Got to kickstart the engines, right? Got to get the engines running, gears working. I'm going to go with the iced coffee. That's $5.95. Okay. Shortly after that iced coffee's gone, we're going to hit our first Miller Lite. It's like, it just is what it is. That's just kind of how we're going to go and do it. After that, I'm going to double fist the next two. Like I'm getting 2 more Miller Lites. We're going to double fist those. We're going to try to catch a buzz before we even eat any food. Like that's, if and obviously we're limited here. $50 is crazy. I don't know what we spent at the PGA Championship. I'm going to guess I was over $120, $130 that day in just like alcohol. Cause we were drinking transfusions. I don't see those on here, but, so I'm now up to 3 beers and an iced coffee. We're straight liquid up until this point.
Yeah, and the beers are $11.95 a pop. So you're already. So
I'm almost to my limit here.
You got $8 left. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going Bavarian pretzel. We're going bang for the buck. That's going to fill up the stomach. It's going to keep the engine going. It's a little gasoline. It is going to kill the buzz a little bit. I'm not crazy about that, but I feel like bang for the buck. You're going to feel pretty full for a little bit on that Bavarian pretzel, and that's it. I'm done. $50 is long gone. So yeah,
tough scene. The $50 is just. I mean, it's your choice is basically you could go 4 beers, and then that just knocks you out right there.
I thought about that. The Bavarian pretzel caught my eye, and I do feel like the iced coffee just kind of gets the day started the right way. And again, I'm maybe once a week eat breakfast. I mean, and a lot of times if I do, it's like work related. It's like, oh, someone wants to meet for breakfast. And even then, I don't even get a huge breakfast. Like I'm getting something small. So to me, it just felt like a waste of money to smash down a breakfast sandwich, and waste the $7.95 or the $6.95 that those cost.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was trying to find a way to cheat this. I think I'm still going to try to cheat this. My play would be I'd fill up in the morning. I would eat something at home, the Airbnb, wherever I'm staying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's
Get a coffee in the Airbnb, try to save some bucks. And then I think it's hard to disagree with you. Like I think I'm going 3 beers at some point. I don't know how I'm going to break them out. But that gets $36. You know what? From there, I think I'm just kind of piecing together a meal out of the snacks because these like.
I'll tell you, I missed the Uncrustables on here. I missed the Uncrustables. I'm a little disappointed in myself. I missed the Uncrustables on here.
I'm saying I'm going to get 3 beers, so that takes me to $36. I'm going to slam an Uncrustable. That's $4, so that's $40. I got $10 left. And this is where you get in a tough spot because it's like
not a lot left.
There's nothing for really $10, and you can't piece together I mean, I guess you could leave a little on the table. I mean, there's a hot dog for $7.50. Not hateful.
No. I was thinking you could maybe throw a couple more snacks in there. I mean, that really gets you into about $8. You're probably leaving a couple dollars on the table, but I think from a point of like filling up, you know what I mean? That probably keeps you pretty full. You had your 3 beers, I tell you, I'd probably even go. I had a little extra room. I think I actually had an extra room. I could go 2 Uncrustables instead of the Bavarian pretzel. So, because I did have that like $1 or something left. So I think I'd actually change it to that. 2 Uncrustables, 3 beers, and an iced coffee. That'd probably round out my $50.
I think, man, that's pretty solid order, to be honest with you. It's hard pressed for me not to copy your order right now.
Yeah, I mean, Uncrustables are undefeated. Yeah, they are the I like people. I know so many adults that eat them, like that have kids, but they're the ones that eat them in the house. Like the kids don't even eat them.
I think we found a quorum here. Like I think that's the only play.
It feels like the right. I mean, to waste $11.95 on a cheeseburger. Feels like a waste. Maybe you go the Italian sausage route. That's dangerous because then you're talking about peppers and onions. I just doesn't feel like that. Feels like a nap afterwards. You know what I mean?
I think you're right. I think you kick the morning off with the iced coffee. You hit a couple beers, and then depending on where they fit in, 2 Uncrustables. You put one in after the second beer or whatever, and then you get one to end the day.
Yep.
That gives you good versatility.
I'll tell you, whoever the psychopath that is eating a chicken Caesar salad at a golf tournament, maybe they put that on there to figure out who they need to kick out. I don't know. I don't know. Like that seems like psychopath, characteristics for someone to eat a Caesar salad at a golf tournament.
Especially when you got the veggie wrap right above it, so it's not like you need like a vegetarian option.
They got 2 vegetarian options. Well, I guess
make it a Caesar wrap. That's all you got to do.
Let's be honest. Yeah, we got to have finger foods. Something that you got to sit down and eat with a fork just seems like a lot of work.
Yeah. Some other stuff on here just to kind of shout some stuff out. The seltzers are $13, like a blackberry seltzer, $13.95 for a White Claw. That hurts the budget.
That's steep.
A canned lemon wedge by Dewar's. It's the official cocktail of the U.S. Open. I don't know how that's going to go. We're going to leave that one alone.
But it's $13.95. I mean, it kills. If you're thinking $50, that kills the budget.
Yeah. Gatorade $5.95, water bottle $4.95, and it's Aquafina, which is just trash.
It's like battery acid.
Yeah. Soft drinks are cheaper, $3.59 a pop, and of course it's Pepsi. So it's just like, man, that's tough.
Don't hate on Diet Pepsi too much. I do like a nice Diet Pepsi every once in a while.
Sorry is like fine. It's okay. But Sprite's still better.
But we all know the story behind that. Like Sierra Mist had to change its name because a girl's name was Sierra Mist. So
nice.
And she sued them. So they changed it to Story. But yeah, I mean, the non-alcoholic beverages, it seems like just complete out on those. I mean, I'll tell you, the Kind bars, not a bad add to this. Candy, I don't know what that means. That can mean a lot of different things. Seems kind of sketchy. I mean, are we talking like Snickers bars? Are we talking like, Almond Joys? Because there's a big difference. In
either
candy.
way, I mean, $4.95 for quote unquote candy seems like highway robbery.
Yeah, it does. Even if it is like a Snickers bar, that seems expensive.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, the PGA's taken a lot of flack, but I think what they've done with their all-inclusive ticket for everybody, seems like the best way to go about it. I mean, yeah, you're going to have some people you're going to lose some money on, but in the long run, you're probably going to, make money, and it just makes it easier on everybody. Unless you're buying alcohol, you don't have to wait in line and check out, right?
No, it's perfect. That
seems like the play. Maybe the U.S. Open will catch on to that. That was the one thing when we went to the PGA I really loved. I'm like, look, I'm getting my money. I'm getting my card out to buy alcohol, but other than that, I don't need my wallet the rest of the day.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so I guess shout out to the PGA and the Masters for doing it right in different ways.
Yeah.
U.S. Open, I don't know. We might need some work here. This
lost in the sauce. They just the money maker, baby. You just got to keep printing that money.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Well, now let's get into the birdies and bogeys of it all. We're gonna do a little preview, some buy or sell. I came with a new segment today. We're gonna call it Patio Predictions. It's where the beers are cold and the takes are bold, baby.
I love that. That's good.
Yeah, so we're going to run through some of this here real quick. In case you've been living under a rock, like I said, this is the U.S. Open at Oakmont. They're hosting the U.S. Open. This is a record 10th time for any course.
Deserving, by the way.
For sure. When I think of U.S. Opens, it's hard not to just picture the Oakmont clubhouse.
It just feels like the U.S. Open course. Like if you were trying to draw up a prototypical U.S. Open, this is the course you would put it on. That or like Winged Foot or something like that, For
sure. It's going to play as a par 70, which it's done for the previous two before this one as well. 7,372 yards. Obviously, the rough has been the big story of the week, along with, I don't know if you've seen any of the posted green speeds. They've got like a sign by the first tee. Today, they were rolling 16.
Oh, my God. I want to know what a world record is for like stemp green speeds.
I mean, that's
got to be cutting. That's got to be getting close to a record. That's insanely fast.
Yeah, I can't fathom
insanely fast.
No, yeah. So during this time that it's played as a par 70, only 4 players have scored under par for the week.
So, yeah. Think about it. A par 70 that's 7,300 yards. In reality, if that's a par 72, you're probably at like 7,800 yards, so it definitely plays, that 73 is a little misleading, right? The 7,300 yards. It probably plays closer to 7,800 with the par 70.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the book on Oakmont, honestly. Prior winners here, 1927, Tommy Armour, the OG Tommy Armour. 1935, Sam Parks Jr. All due respect to Mr. Parks Jr., I don't know who that is. 1953, Ben Hogan.
My guy.
Yeah, 1962, Jack Nicklaus. 73, Johnny Miller. 83, Larry Nelson. 94, Ernie Els. 2007, Angel Cabrera. And 2016, Dustin Johnson. Pretty, you got to be a class player to win here.
It's the big names. Yeah. Again, with all due respect to Sam Parks, but the rest of those guys on that list are flushers and top tier, top notch golfers. Of their time.
I also don't know who Larry Nelson is, so maybe we're not. Maybe he's
my
not,
God!
But...
Really? Okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the names. Okay. Even if you don't even know Larry Nelson, right? Ernie Els, Angel Cabrera, Angel Cabrera, when he won in 07, he went through a little stint where that dude was on a heater. He was playing some seriously good golf. Dustin Johnson, obviously Ben Hogan speaks for itself. Johnny Miller outside of getting the putting yips. And then Jack Nicklaus. That is a hell of a list of winners. And, you could argue Jamie Kennedy did a thread today about, 2016 was Dustin Johnson's 18th hole the best 18th hole of a major ever. And he made some really good points. The guy did stripe a drive down the middle of the fairway and hit a 230-yard shot to a foot and a half, under pressure, needing to kind of close it out. So yeah, really, really good list of winners. And I think that's why I think Oakmont's a really, really good place for a U.S. Open. So
yeah, total agreement here. And with that, I think it's time to get to buy or sell. So I've got 6 topics here. You can buy it, you can sell it. We'll talk about it along the way. So the winning score being over par this week, do you buy or sell that? That is a lot of the talk with this rough and everything. Do you think it could be possible?
Yeah, I'm buying this. I think after, last year played tough, but they were still under par, right? There's been a couple years in here where the U.S. Open's kind of gotten taken to the woodshed a little bit. And I think they kind of eyed this tournament this year that was this is where we take it back, kind of thing. They did cut the rough today. I did see video of that. But I think it's, even if with the cut down rough a little bit, it's going to grow over the next couple of days. They're expecting some rain, I think, today and tomorrow. But you tag in even remotely kind of long rough with those kind of green speeds, it's going to be over par. Yeah, it's definitely going to be over par.
Yeah, I think Johnny Vegas was the one that posted about them mowing or whatever, and he was like, even with them mowing, it's still unplayable, so don't worry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and even then, it's like, okay, let's just say they can't advance it, right? You're not going to get a ball to stop on a green that's rolling at 14 or 15. Like, you're just not. Like, it doesn't matter if they mowed it 3 inches down, right? Like, and it's still going to, like, this time of year, I feel like our spring, especially because it's so close to here in Pennsylvania, has kind of got pushed till about right now as far as like grass growth and all that. The grass is growing at like unprecedented speeds right now. I know because I literally mowed 3 or 4 days ago and it already needs mowed again. So it's not like they're mowing it now. It does not mean by Friday of the tournament it's not going to be 2 inches longer again. So
yeah, I feel like every time they say this about a course, we get to the tournament and all of a sudden they end up shooting like 12 under par or whatever. And so I'm a little jaded, so I want to sell, but I think to your point, like I really do feel like the USGA has been eyeing this one like
this is our chance.
Yeah, like no, we're not. This time we're not letting it happen. Like we're gonna make it hard on purpose. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna hesitantly buy that it'll be over par this week.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that, but like even Pinehurst last year, like there was some lower scores the first day, and it was like this place is incredibly hard, and it's like you had a guy like at 4 under after the first day. You're like, God dang, like really? But
yeah.
I mean, look, the pin placements the first couple of days are not hard, right? They you almost can't make them super hard because the field's so big. I mean, pace of play becomes an issue, right? If you're tucking pins and stuff like on a Thursday. So don't judge it by its cover. Don't judge it by the first couple of days. It's when Saturday hits and Sunday hits is when you start to see those higher scores, and you start to see like maybe an opening round 3 under becomes, the winner becomes like maybe 1 under or even or 1 over. So
yeah, 100%. All right, next up, buy or sell Scotty Scheffler being an overwhelming favorite at plus 275 to win.
I'm gonna buy it. I mean, in the whole point of golf to be like just be incredibly accurate with every club in your bag. I mean, that's what that guy does. Now I'm a little worried about his putter if on greens like this. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. He is not the greatest putter in the world. It seems like this is gonna maybe lead its way for some better putters to kind of maybe make some strokes up, not like a lot of strokes up on guys. But it's hard to believe a guy that's hitting the ball like he's hitting it not be the overwhelming favorite. So I'm definitely buying this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's going to hold up on these greens at this course, but Scotty's been a top 10 putter in the world this year.
I know. I get that. I know, but it's kind of one of those things. It's like, when is a bad putting week going to poke its head out? And if it was going to happen anywhere, it happened here, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I've never really gone to the claw, but like, is the claw good for 16 on the stem meter? I don't know.
I guess we're about to find out, aren't we?
Yeah. He's deserving of it for sure. Just proofs in the pudding. The way he's been playing, it's been dominant again. If I had to take Scotty versus the field, though, I probably would still take the field.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah, it's still a U.S. Open. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. It's like in theory, it should let him rise easier because he's doing it the best. And all that. These guys have to play the course too, but there's just that element of variance with this setup that like it could just be one hole.
Yeah, he takes a double or a triple, and it's like, it's. This course is not going to be somewhere where you take a double or triple and you're making it back up in the next 5 holes. Like that double or triple may take you 2 days to make back up, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he deserves it, but I would still take the field if I was a betting man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna for the purpose of the game, I'm gonna sell, just because I think that having
275 feels like
that's what I'm saying.
That's a lot, Yeah.
For this type of tournament, I think that's just too steep of a price.
Well, specifically for a major that he hasn't won, right? Like, I think, it's like if it's a Masters, you're like, okay, maybe. I get that, But, yeah, for a tournament he hasn't won yet, seems pretty low odds.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up on the odds board, plus 750, Bryson DeChambeau. Are you buying or selling him going back to back and winning his third U.S. Open?
The problem is if the rough is truly that punishing, he kind of got away with it at Winged Foot in 2020, right? It was a little bit later in the year. Greens were a little softer. Maybe that fall softness.
Yeah.
He kind of got away with it a little bit out there. I don't know if you remember that Winged Foot that he he sprayed the ball everywhere. Like he wasn't in the fairway hardly ever. And I think he hit like 2 or 3 fairways the final round. Like, I just don't think this time of year, even if it's a slightly softer, that you're going to get away with that out here. And for that reason, I'm selling this. If there's anybody who could do it, I could see him doing it. But I think he's just, his distance control and accuracy is a little varied right now. And I don't think that's going to play well. It played well last year. Look, Pinehurst is kind of luck of the draw when you hit it wayward, right? Like you might have a perfect lie. You might get up against something. It's kind of here. It's like you miss a fairway, you're in rough. I don't care how strong you are. It's going to take some finagling to make a par, right? So for that reason, I'm selling this.
Yeah, I'm going to sell as well. More so just because what we saw at the PGA, like he just did not have control of his golf ball on approach.
No distance control.
The combo of that plus the fact that he does have the length and the strength, I could just see him trying to pull something off that he thinks he can, that no one else can, and it going wrong.
And a big number pops up.
Yeah, like if he tries to get out of a spot that he just simply, really, he needs to take his medicine.
Yeah.
I foresee some of that possibly happening. So,
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely deserves to be second favorite on the board, just given his major form and his form in this tournament specifically. But yeah, I'm going to sell this specific one. All right, buy or sell. Rory regaining his form for a 7th consecutive top 10 in the U.S. Open.
So when I first saw this, I was a buy. And then I was just like, like that gut feeling takes over where you're just like, you can't see someone winning or like playing good on a course.
Yeah.
This just feels like a course that he's just not going to play well at. I don't know why. There's no like, this is the reason why. It's just like a gut feeling that this is not a course he's going to play well at. That's all I got on this one, but I'm selling it.
I'm selling as well. I just don't. I'm not seeing it either. Everything seems off. The vibes just seem off. Like I don't.
Yeah, skipping media duties. It just
He shot 78 to miss the cut in Canada here. He's again spoke on the driver like he's going to be doing driver testing over this past weekend, trying to figure that out. I just don't.
Just too many variables.
His one that's his biggest superpower, and if he's not got that dialed, I mean, I think there's just
it could be trouble. Now, do I think he drives the ball well enough when he's playing well to really kind of take control of this tournament? 100%. Again, I just kind of gut feeling on this one that is just not going to go well for him this year or this weekend.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm selling as well. He noted 2016 he missed the cut here as well, so no history to lean on either.
Yep.
All right, long one here. Bear with me. Going back to 2010, 11 of the 15 winners of the U.S. Open were first-time major winners.
Wow.
That list includes Graham McDowell, Rory McIlroy, Webb Simpson, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Gary Woodland, Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Wyndham Clark. Notably, Bryson and Brooks have both won it twice in that period. And then the two that won it was not their first major were Jordan Spieth, he had already won the Masters, and Martin Keimer, who had already won the PGA Championship. All of that is to say, do you buy or sell someone getting their first major victory this week?
I gotta sell this. It just doesn't feel like a place that, again, we talked about it before, right? The prior winners, it's like, this is a big dogs course, right? Like, this is a proven winner, this is a trophy horse course. You know what I mean? Like, the big dogs, it's big dogs only at this place. And I can't, like Pebble Beach. Yeah. Like, obviously Gary Woodland won there, right? Like that seems like I think Graham McDowell won at Pebble Beach too, right? Like, I think,
I mean, DJ did win this at Oakmont for his first, but he was
He
also
did,
number
but
one.
again, like it's a stallion course, right? Like you got to be a stallion, and at that point, Dustin Johnson was a stallion, right? And it was just kind of like looking for that first win. I don't think we have anybody like that right now necessarily. That is like searching for that first major. That is like head and shoulders above talent wise amongst most players. I don't think we have that guy, so that's why I'm like I don't know who's a world-class player that's still looking for that first, like a truly a world-class player looking for that first major. So I'm selling this.
I'm going to buy this, and I'm going to put a pin in that for patio predictions.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I'm going to buy this for now.
Okay. All right.
Last buy or sell question. Because it's the U.S. Open, we have to talk about it. Technically speaking, Phil Mickelson still could complete the career Grand Slam here. But my buy or sell question is are you buying or selling that this will be Phil Mickelson's final U.S. Open?
I think I'm buying this.
Yeah, his eligibility has run out after this year from winning the PGA.
Yeah, the only reason I'm buying buying that it's his last one is I think he's too proud to go do the longest Monday or anything. He's just not going to go out there and play 36 holes and try to qualify for the U.S. Open. Now I say that in the fact that I could see him doing that, like just out of like sheer, he's going to try to win a U.S. Open until he literally cannot walk a golf course anymore, or as long as he can play in it. But I think it's a buy. I think he's just going to realize it's not in the cards. He's getting to an age where this is just becoming a major that's not possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The USGA does have exemptions that they can use for this. Whether or not he deserves that or will get one, I don't know. He has 6 second-place finishes in the U.S. Open. It's the most of all time. He's 54. I'm buying this. I also think it's his last one. I think just given everything that's happened in the last few years, it would be weird, I think, for the USGA to give him one.
Yeah.
He's not being a past champion or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this could be the last time we see him in the US Open.
I think so.
All right. Time for patio predictions. Little teaser for Patio Beers later. We're going to the patio for a moment here. Like I said, where the beers are cold and the takes are bold. I got 3 questions here. We're going to put our necks out a little bit. Instead of doing the headline game, we're going to go with this instead. So, biggest name to miss the cut. I will go first. I think Rory's going to miss the cut.
Yeah, I mean that was on my list. I have a couple of them, but I think Rory misses the cut this weekend.
Yeah,
but my second one,
bad vibes. Yeah,
I think Scotty Scheffler misses the cut this weekend. It just seems like it's going too perfect. Like if there was going to be a course that kind of throws the ship off its route, it would be this one.
This feels like you're about to get your second freezing cold takes.
Look, I love the guy. Someone was telling me this weekend, like, I don't really like Scotty Scheffler. Dude, get out of here. Like, I love the guy, but I'm thinking, like, if there's one course that could throw you off your game just a little, just enough, right? It would be this course. And if there was going to be a cut he missed, I could see it being this one.
Well, you may as well just go put some money on that. Then I bet some good plus. He might be more.
100%.
He might pay out more to miss the cut than win.
100%. Yeah, yeah. It's probably like plus 400 for him to miss the cut.
Yeah, I'd be shook by that one. Rory seems like the star is kind of just relying that way, but Scotty missing the cut would be like truly shocking.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well. That takes the fun out of the next question. I was, who will not win? I was prepared to say I do not believe that Scotty Scheffler will win. But you think he's going to miss the cut potentially. So outside of that, it's kind of tough. Like I don't think someone like JT is going to win. I think he's too squirrely with the driver. Trying to think of some other guys that are kind of up towards the top. Xander feels like he's not piecing it all together right now.
Yeah.
I already said I think Rory missed the cut. He's not going to win. Yeah, there's like 4 guys.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at big names that have a legitimate chance, I mean, we've kind of already talked about Bryson. I think he'll be probably a favorite pick from a lot of people. Yeah. I don't think he'll win. I think another name that's, I don't know, that you could kind of throw out there. Like, I don't think a Xander's going to win on this course. I don't think, like anybody like that. I know they're world-class players, and it kind of fits, right? The winners in the past kind of fit their mold, but I just don't like I would say I would probably throw out like a Xander. Like, it's just not his – doubt it's his course to kind of take advantage of. I could be wrong about that, but been wrong about him in the past. So.
Yeah, that's you're just lining them up for freezing cold takes.
I mean, the best player in the world, Joaquin Niemann, I mean, he's probably not going to win either, so –
yeah, we've peppered the board to the top of the odds board here. So I think that begs the question of who will win? Who is your pick to win?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. So this is where I was putting the pin in it, where I think someone's going to get their first major victory this week. The game has been all over the place, but the class, the pedigree, the way he hits it, I think short game is going to be a little bit mitigated, actually, around here.
Just everybody's going to struggle with that. You know what I mean?
That, and I think that anytime we see like the long rough around the greens, it levels the playing field, and I don't think it's as difficult as like a tight lie runoff area is for some of these guys. So I kind of have two names. I'm looking at the big Swede. Give me Ludvig Åberg.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, flushers are probably not going to struggle out here. You know what I mean?
Close call last year. Got undone by like a triple or a quad. That was like a short game ejection at Pinehurst, which that can happen to you there. And then his fellow Scandinavian from Norway, I think Victor Hovland, just kind of popping up out of nowhere. His game, he admittedly says, is kind of lost. But again, the class, the pedigree, the ball striking, I'm not worried about that stuff. It's always the short game stuff with him that I'm worried about, and I just think that stuff's mitigated. So give me a lush golf course with tight fairways. Like, just give me the primo drivers of the golf ball. And I think those are two guys that are kind of a little bit under the radar just because they haven't been playing their best.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I'm sticking with we talked about this being a big dogs course here. I think Jon Rahm wins this weekend.
Yeah.
It just, look, his struggles over the last couple of years of majors is well documented. Kind of feels like he might have caught something here, maybe with the PGA. I know kind of struggled down the stretch, but maybe gave him a little taste of what it felt like to kind of be in the, in the hot seat coming down, the last couple of holes of a major again. But it just feels like when the course gets hard, he just seems to play better. Like, it's almost like, Torrey Pines, when he won, it was like dudes were struggling out there, and he seemed like the only guy that wasn't struggling. So I like him in a U.S. Open setup just because he kind of it seems like he finds his best game when the courses get the absolute hardest. So I like Jon Rahm to win this week.
Yeah. If I was going to the top of the board, obviously someone I did not say wouldn't win because I'm scared of him. I think he's got a really good opportunity here. Good finish to the PGA, just kind of had to try to put the gas pedal down and it didn't work out for him at the end. But yeah, he's a U.S. Open player, tremendous driver of the golf ball.
And my hope too is just he just got that taste again. It's like, God dang, like it felt good to kind of be back in that position because it'd been a little bit since he had been in that position. I say a little bit. It'd probably been like a year and a half, right? But for a guy of his caliber, that's a long time to not be in play at a major. But I think that maybe gave him a little taste, maybe a little fire coming into this week.
Yeah, well, I think that can transition us nicely into one and done conversation. Are we just taking Jon Rahm?
I mean, we got to take a live guy, right? We don't really have anybody left that's non-live. I feel like he's the safest bet as far as we can take Niemann, I guess, the undisputed number one player in the world, according to some people. But
he just won again.
He did just win again. I mean, best player in the world. No, I think it's got to be Rahm out of all the live guys. I mean, if we're being honest.
Yeah, just to catch people up on one and done, because we've been kind of out of that conversation for a couple of weeks. We took Sepp Straka at Memorial, which was a nice third place. It kind of gave us some life. And then Pendrith was like the only guy to shoot like even par in the top whatever yesterday. To fall back to T27 when he was like kind of in it.
He wasn't out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was like 3 or 4 shots back.
But we had to get that nice, just not too big of a paycheck, but just the right amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. So we're chilling at 3,653rd place, almost up to $4 million now. Though we've made some progress. So yeah, I think it's got Rahm makes the most sense, unless we were going to be like, oh no, we'll pivot because a lot of people use them. We can use them at the Open. As far as like tour players go, we really don't have much left. Like we burned everybody in at the wrong spots. We have Tommy, but I'm not really feeling that.
Oh, that's not going to be a win. So whenever we have to use him.
Corey Connors, I do not think we'll win this tournament. We're not using Spieth. I think it feels like Rahm time.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
All right. Probably us and like 50% of the field, but John Rahm, the official Back Nine Six Pack one and done pick of the week. All right, before we get off U.S. Open real quick, I did just want to shout out because, we didn't get a chance. Last year you spoke pretty well about the long stay in golf, and you had some good coverage of that. We didn't get to talk that because we did the Scotland podcast. But I threw a quote in here from, I'm sure most people have heard of Matt Vogt at this point. He's a dentist from Indianapolis. He's 34 years old. He qualified. He actually medaled at the qualifier he was in. His dad recently passed away from cancer. I think he has a 15-month-old daughter. He was out there. Somebody caught him for a quick interview today. And they asked him about like signing autographs. It was the first time he's ever signed an autograph, obviously, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
And so he said, referring to the people, they might know who I am, they might not. They just know I'm playing golf inside the ropes, and maybe they're thinking about doing it themselves someday or just chasing their dreams. They're probably out here with their parents and making memories and having experiences. It's a true honor to be a part of that, to just see kids like that and, I guess, make a good impression on them here on the golf course. And to that, I say, hell yeah. That is why this tournament rules.
It does. It is. I will say this. I might be slightly out on Matt here because he is a quote-unquote dentist. He is a DD. What do they call him? Like DDS? He's like a consultant for dentists, but he's like kind of TikTok famous and like Instagram. Right. Like he does. So we'll call him like a kind of a fake dentist, but he like actually has his license. But no, that's an incredible quote. Obviously, like I say that in jest, but it's it's why the U.S. Open, and honestly the Open too, right? Like they do the kind of the same qualifying, but it's why it's awesome, right? Like, and 100%. By the way, like, we didn't get to talk about the longest Monday last week with the show that we did, but you have a playoff in Columbus. People are surrounded, like the green's completely surrounded, no ropes. And you have, Cam Young out there, Ricky Fowler, like Max Homa, like duking it out in a playoff, like to get in the USO. It doesn't get much cooler than that. Like it really doesn't. Then in Springfield, you have, I can't remember who was, there was a couple big names in the playoff and like they didn't even make it past the first hole. And then you have, Zach Blair and John Peterson out there. Zach's, let's just call it what it is, like a part-time PGA Tour player at this point, mostly interested in running his course, the Tree Farm. And then John Peterson literally owns a garage door company. Now, he used to have his PGA Tour card. He actually got his amateur status back this year. But it's like you have a garage door company owner and like a guy that owns a golf course out there duking it out for a final spot in the U.S. Open. It doesn't get any better than that. Like it really, truly does not. It's my favorite day. We were sitting at a softball game last Monday and, I'm like, have it on my phone. And like, my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching a playoff for the last spots in the U.S. Open. She's just like shaking her head. Like I'm a sicko. Like it's a drug, this is why this is, I love the Masters. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I love the Open too. PGA I'm indifferent about, but like this is why like this time of year I'm like, this is my favorite major. Like it's just so democratic. I love it.
Yeah, the shout out to the Golf Channel for how they cover the day now.
Like it's so much better at it.
Oh, it's so good. I think it also proves like when we complain about like the commercials and the package, all this stuff, and it's like, dude, I do not care the quality of this. Just put some guys with the cameras out there and just record this shit.
And that's what they do, man. They like they don't have any TV stands set up. Like there's a dude walking down the fairway with a camera. Like it is legit like some of the best TV, specifically if you're a huge golf fan. Like you just gotta like camera's kind of rattling because he doesn't have it on the stand. Like it's just it's so genuine. It's not even funny, and it's like that's what makes it great. And then you get guys that like are good players. They just maybe, like John Peterson, like he had some injury problems and stuff like that. And like, he's living his life. He's got like 7 kids and he runs a garage door company. It's like, but it's cool that guy's like, you know what? Like one time a year, I'm going to go out and try to duke it out and make a US Open. So I think that's what's really cool about it. You got a dentist and stuff like that. I think that's what's really cool about it is just like, you can get anybody in there. And I think that probably speaks to the depth of just like golf talent and like any given day, your John Petersons of the world or your Matt Vogts of the world that can just go out and beat a Max Homa that, was top 10 in the world a year and a half ago. Right. I think it's just no other sports like that. No, like, me and you can go out there and not on a given day are we going to hit a 400-foot home run in baseball, right? It's not going to happen.
No.
But, if you're good enough at golf, there's a given day that you might be able to beat a guy like that. So,
right.
I think we kidded about it when I played in that professional tournament last year. I can't remember the dude's name. Played at Illinois, and like I beat him in the first round. And then like a month later, he shot like 59 in a mini tour event. Like it's like I beat that guy one day though. Like I did. In a legit tournament, so it's cool. I love it. That's why Longest Monday is one of my favorite days of the year in golf, and US Open. It might be a close second, if not first, as far as majors go for me.
Yeah. Here. All right. With that, on to the important topics now. We're into fan mail. I kind of teased this question at the top. Shout out to our guy Tyler in Tampa for this one. Sent it in a couple weeks back. Sorry, we're just not getting to it, bud. But he says, we've reached prime ice cream season. Can we get a back 9 6-pack power ranking on favorite go-to frozen treats? He lists the little goodie shop as his go-to spot. Everybody's got, their spot as far as the, the creamy whips are concerned here. But he says a close second is UDF. UDF, United Dairy Farmers, for anyone who's not from Cincinnati listening. That's what
or Columbus, or just like Ohio in general. Yeah.
Yeah. He calls out their shakes and malts, also delicious.
Pretty good.
So his rundown here of his sweet treats here. Number 1, chocolate malt. This I got to just pause here. The flavor profile of this man is like he is notably both a child and a like nursing home resident. It's like chicken fingers and mac and cheese for dinner, and then he's got his malted shake for dessert. It's unbelievable.
I can't do malts. I've got a little bit of I've had some allergic reactions to malt, so I can't do malt. Look, it tastes amazing. Not sure about the flavor pick, but malts does give it that extra like bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he's not done with the malts yet. This is where I'm giving him shit. Number 2, he goes with the flurry with either Whoppers or Butterfinger, which Butterfinger is elite. Whoppers, like, look, this is one of those things where I like Whoppers. I know it's trash candy, though.
I like them. Like, I wish I could eat more of them. Dude, I can have like one. Like, after that, like, I might have an allergic reaction. But Whoppers are good. They are good. It's a trash candy, but it's good.
Yeah, but you have to be able to admit it.
And a flurry, that seems like a wild step in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and then his third place here, he goes with the plain Jane, the chocolate vanilla swirl cone.
Oh my god,
tough to beat that, but also like we got to elevate it a little bit here, buddy. And just a wild honorable mention, the chip wheelie, which is like the chocolate chip cookie with the ice cream in the middle. I'm telling you, he's like a small child, but also
like
an older
3-year-old. That's what
Yes.
my 5-year-old likes. Like that's no venturing out. It is like like chocolate ice cream is the thrill of their life, right? Yeah, that's a take of a 5-year-old right there.
100%. So the reason I said this was a very like apropos question. Look, I'm not scared to admit I made not one, not two, but 3 runs to the cone this weekend.
God, we live at the cone, obviously, because we don't live that far. That is our spot.
Same.
Shout out to the Twist, though. It's right on the golf course. We do like the Twist. If you're looking for a little cheaper price range of Twist, and they have a bar on the back, which is obviously that is a definite positive when you're going to get ice cream.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cone. I mean, like I love their peanut butter soft serve, dude.
Oh, so
it
good.
Bangs. Like it's so good. It is so good. That peanut butter soft serve is like out of this world. I just had this weekend. I love these. I've always loved these. Ventured over to our guy Dan's house that we went to the PGA with on Sunday. I had to drop something off at his house. I'm coming back, passing a Dairy Queen. I'm like, it's nap time at my house. I got an extra 15 minutes. Swung through Dairy Queen, got me a cherry dilly bar. Dilly bars are fantastic. If you've never had one, highly, and not the chocolate one. You got to get the cherry one. Cherry one just is unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah, haven't even heard of a dilly bar in.
Oh God, they're so good.
I haven't heard anyone mention that in decades at this point in my life.
Yeah.
So
I'm like the exact opposite, right?
Yeah.
Tyler in Tampa, that's a 5-year-old. I'm like an 85-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
My ice cream choices here.
Yeah, look, I'll keep it to the cone rundown here. So love the cone. I'll give you my top 3. We're not going to go 6 deep. I'm not prepared to go 6 deep right now.
I'm not either.
But third place is what I got last night, actually. A chocolate peanut butter malt. So kind of like a Reese's malt, essentially.
That's pretty good.
God, dude,
I get the shake version, obviously, because I can't have malt. I get the shake version of that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I go both. Sometimes I go malt, sometimes just regular shake. It depends on the situation. I'm so torn with my 1 and 2. It like depends on the day. I don't decide till I get to the actual drive-through window. I'm gonna go 2. We're gonna go tiramisu wizard, which is like a flurry.
Pretty good. I've had that before too. I've ventured down that menu quite a few times.
Yeah, it's so it's coffee ice cream, but it's got chunks of cheesecake and chocolate chips in it. Oh,
it's pretty good.
Just pretty good. And then number 1, I think for me would be their grasshopper wizard, which
never had that one actually.
So I'm a big mint ice cream guy.
I am too. I might need to venture into that.
Mint ice cream with chocolate chips, Oreo chunks, and thin mint chunks.
Oh my God!
And actually, I don't think it's chocolate chips. I think it's actually like pieces of like chocolate mint, like Andy's mints.
Oh my God,
dude, it slaps. So good.
Their other wizard, or it's just for people that don't know. It's like a McFlurry. They blend it all up or whatever. They do a really good Buckeye one, and they actually have like mini Buckeyes in there.
Yeah,
that they buy from this store that's like in Northern Ohio. Like it is legit, like one of the best wizards that they have up there. I'll have to try the grasshopper one. I've never had that. I'm a big mint guy. Love Andy's mints. Love Oreo, obviously.
Yeah, thin mint.
Anything mint flavored, I'm in. I'll have to try that one. I've not had that one yet.
The Buckeye one, that's what I got Friday night. The first time I had that one, so good, but man, you get like halfway through and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, usually I get a medium. I get a small in that one. It's a lot of sugar. It's a ton of sugar. You just can't go medium. God forbid you go large. You might die.
No,
I don't know. Like you might get diabetes after you finish it. Like, I don't know.
That's a 2-dayer for me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh,
man. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Tyler, for that one.
Well, by the way, hold on real quick. We would be remiss to not mention the blue ice cream at Kings Island. I feel like I love the blue ice cream at
I've
Kings
never been a
Island.
blue ice cream guy, but people rave about it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I couldn't let this slide without at least mentioning that. That is pretty good.
Yeah. I didn't even count like graders in this conversation. I'm talking pure creamy whip.
Yeah, like your local ice cream shop. Yeah. Well, shout out to my healthy dairy bar too. That's where I grew up going.
Yeah,
but
we went to not the little goodie shop, but the goodie shop is where I always went.
Yeah,
to.
Yeah.
Not healthy area. Gold Top too over in White.
Yeah. A lot of good ones.
Always good. Putzes, man. I'm thinking of so many right now.
Yeah. I think I might hit the code up tomorrow. They're closed on Mondays though. Sad day.
Yeah, that's the only thing that stopped me from going 4 days in a row. Probably.
Oh God!
So
you hit the Monday closure.
yeah. All right, and with that, it's time to head over to the patio for a patio beer segment where anything goes. You or me first? How do we want to do this?
Go first. Yeah.
All right. So let's imagine there's a world where this thing takes off and we become celebrity podcasts. We are on tour. We're touring podcasters, going to do live shows. It would be a great time.
That would be fantastic.
What, as they call in the business, what would be in your rider in your contracts? Like, what are you going to have? What's got to be in the green room for you or got to be on the tour bus for you?
That's a good question. Because there's some crazy stories about people like what they needed in their green rooms.
Yeah.
I think it's like Bing Crosby had dude wanted 40 pounds of shrimp and it's fucking weird stuff. No, I mean, I think it'd be I'd keep it very simple, right? It would be I need a 12-pack of Miller Lite, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a given. If I'm trying to probably, I know this is hard because, we're not always going to be in Cincinnati, but if we were in Ohio where there was a Skyline available, 3 cheese conies, no mustard and a 12-pack of Miller Lite. But if I had to go a more accepted food, because you need your drink and your food, right?
Yeah.
That's how I would look at it. So I'm I need a 12-pack of Miller Lite, preferably 16 ounces because they do the 12-pack 16 ounces now. I don't know if that's just a summer thing. I feel like it is, but 12-pack of Miller Lite. And then I'd probably go a number 7 at McDonald's, the 2 cheeseburger meal and a fry. Or it'd be Chick-fil-A. It'd be the club sandwich meal, with a large Diet Coke. I feel like that would prepare me for, the 12 Miller Lights and then getting on stage.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, good answers. I also would include probably Miller Lite in mine. I think though what I would need, I am a big coffee's not just a morning drink for me. It's kind of an all dayer. So I think I would have to have somebody would have to go run to whatever the local shop is and get me whatever I need,
like a latte or something.
Yeah. I need my iced latte pre-show. And it's got to. I don't want Starbucks, Dunkin', whatever. I want to go find me the local.
Yeah, find me the local guy. Yeah,
that's where I'm going to be a little bit of a diva is with my coffee. And then so the Miller Lite. I think it's tough on the food thing because I'm with you. But I won't even make it about a meal. But I'm going to have Grippo's barbecue chips available to me.
Damn, that's such a good one.
I just need a snack junk food that I just want, and that's what I want. So
yeah, I think if I was going snack, maybe not as local. There's nothing a good Snickers bar can't do for you. You know what I mean? It does crave hunger, right? Or cure hunger. I think a good Snickers bar or something. If I was going snack portions, it'd be Snickers, maybe some Skittles back there. Not Three Musketeers because we all know that's trash, but just a good assortment of candies, I think would not be. It'd have to include a Snickers though, because that's where it's at. That's the ultimate candy bar.
For something a little more filling or hearty for me, Quest protein bars are really good. They've got a bunch of flavors. Just have those back there for me. I can just fire back a Quest bar, get my coffee, get my Grippos, and walk out on the stage, and we're good to go. I'll eat dinner later.
Oh, yeah. It's hard on the food front because, I think a lot of the stuff we would want back there would be very local. and obviously if we're doing, if we're traveling around, it's not going to be local every time, right? So it would be really hard because, like, I would just be like, dude, just give me, I want 3 cheese conies, no mustard. Just that's what I want every single time. It'd get a little hard if you were like not in the southern part of Ohio, So
Well, that's why you gotta be a diva, You just have
like
people
I want
crack
this
the
now.
cans
You
and
just
make
got to
this
figure out a way
dog.
to get it. Yeah, just figure out a way. Like it's not my problem; it's your problem now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I had a different question, but that brings up another question tied to this. So my question is, if we were doing that, what would be like? You always hear guys that are like, when I did a show in this place, like I knew, like this was like my peak. This was like climbing Mount Everest. This is the one place I always wanted to do a show. Typically you hear like Red Rocks, right? Like someone does a show at Red Rocks. It's like, that's where I've always wanted to do a show. Madison Square Garden's a big one, right? So like what would be your like Madison Square Garden, right? It's because comedians is like, that's a big one, right? You sell out Madison Square Garden. That's kind of like, you've kind of made it, New Yorkers are hard to please. So like, I know I've heard a couple comedians say like, as soon as I, sold out Madison Square Garden, I kind of like knew like, okay, this is like the peak of all peaks.
Yeah. Man, I mean, I don't know venues like that because I'm not a comedian or a musician, but I think a really cool spot, just like the scene and the setting. I don't even know if they would host anything like this. But I think doing it in the Rose Bowl would be so sick.
Dude, that would be sick.
Just like Pasadena goes hard. And
like at sunset too.
Yeah,
like it's got to be sunset.
That late afternoon sun in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl, and gas me up. That's what I want.
So I got 2. I started thinking about this when we were kind of going through that last question. I think I've got 2. I think it'd be really cool locally, obviously, like if you like sold out Paul Brown, like only because like you're gonna know a lot of people there, right?
Yeah,
it's our hometown. Like if you did that, or like maybe Great American Ballpark or something like that, I think that would be it'd be kind of cool. If we're talking about like golf locales, like if like we're gonna do a show on a golf course, I think like doing some kind of like show on live on the driving range or something like that, or a show like post the Sunday round of a major, like specifically like if you were sitting behind like Oakmont 18 green doing a live show, I think that would be pretty cool. There's some really cool spots, not to bang on the Scotland trip, but like if you could do it like near the beach and right by the old course, I think after an Open Championship, I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to do. But I think like legitimate ones, like selling out something in your hometown, has got to be somewhere up there.
Dude. I mean, doing a live show from like the Jigger Inn during the Open or something
would be, dude, on the back patio would be. I mean, you wouldn't have like that large of a crowd just because like it's kind of tiny. But it would be so fucking awesome. Like so cool.
That'd be more of my vibe. Like just the smaller crowd, more cozy, more, intimate. I think that would be such a thing.
Like for me, like a big crowd at Bargo's, right? Like I would be thrilled with that, right? Like I don't know, like that's just kind of my hangout place, and I think that'd be really cool. Like it doesn't have to be big to be like make you feel like, okay, this feels good, right? This is kind of like my Madison Square Garden, Yeah,
I mean, talking about the hometown thing, like doing it on like Fountain Square. That'd be sick for us.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fucking awesome. Like if you had a pretty decent sized crowd on that Fountain Square, I think that would be incredible.
Right. Yeah. Damn. Man, we're dreaming.
We got a lot
tonight.
to work towards.
Yeah. We're
First
dreaming.
off, we just gotta get your wife to agree to send you to Scotland before we can even do anything at the Jigger Inn. So,
that's boots on the ground is the first step.
It is.
You have to be there. Wow, I'm shook. We did an hour and 5-minute episode for a major week.
That's not bad.
That's tidy. We went long last week, so I think it was just the universe bouncing out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all for listening. As always, please subscribe, rate, and review the show. Follow us on social media at Back9 Sixpack. Send us some fan mail. We We will get to it, I promise. That's always down in the show description. And otherwise, I mean, just enjoy U.S. Open week. It's going to be an absolute banger. Oakmont is so sick. For those of you that celebrate, whether you are a dad, have a dad, whatever, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And just enjoy the week.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sunday, obviously, is one of the best. Outside of Masters Sunday, a Father's Day U.S. Open Sunday is pretty damn close.
Yeah, one of the best American sports holidays, undoubtedly.
Absolutely.
All right. With that, until next time, cheers.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.